Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're all having a fantastic start to 2019 and I hope you're all staying warm. Today I have my top 18 vendor wax scents of 2018, and actually it's more like 25 because I do have several honorable mentions. It was quite difficult for me to narrow down my list. Essentially what I did is I grabbed a notebook, a pen, and I just started writing down scents from 2018 that I really enjoyed, and I ended up with like 45-ish scents just off the top of my head. So I clearly needed to narrow that down. I did narrow it down and then I narrowed it down again. And so I've got about 25 scents here and I just really couldn't narrow it down anymore. There were a couple of criteria that made a scent eligible to be in this video. Number one, it could not be in my last year's top 17 vendor wax scents of 2017. If you missed that video or you didn't see it, I will leave the link to that video below. Definitely check it out because all of those scents are still very applicable and I absolutely still love them. I just didn't want to talk about those scents again and duplicate the information. The second criteria was that I had to have melted the scent in 2018. A lot of these scents were new to me. Maybe I had purchased it but I didn't get around to melting it, and so I melted it for the first time in 2018, or it's just for whatever reason a scent that I fell in love with last year. And then sort of the third more informal criteria for me was that I would have had to repurchase these scents, or I would definitely repurchase them. Like, they are on my list of scents that I want to repurchase soon. Maybe they're just not in stock at the moment, but I think all of these I've repurchased at least once, and some of them more than once. I have turned the scents over to add a little bit of intrigue to the video. One thing that became apparent to me when I was writing my list is that I definitely had a lot of scents from a couple of particular vendors. I'm sure it's no surprise to you all if you've been watching my videos for a long time, but I had a lot of favorite scents from Destination Wax. So I did have to eliminate some scents even though I love them, because I really did want to have a variety of vendors in this video and didn't want it to be just like my top 10 Destination Wax scents. But it did make me think I could definitely do an entire video on certain vendors' scents. And so if you're interested in seeing a video like that, like my top 10 from The Bathing Garden, Destination Wax, Vintage Chic Scents, Super Tarts, etc., leave a comment below and let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in, and mention the vendors that you'd be interested in. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to start with my honorable mentions, and then I'm going to work my way from 18 to number 1. A lot of these sort of at the end, like 17 through the honorable mentions, they're pretty interchangeable. I just wanted to put them in order to give the video some structure and try not to be too long-winded in this video. Essentially, I want to talk about the scent a bit, why I love it, probably a little bit about the performance, but I'm going to try not to ramble too much, but no promises. So if you're interested in hearing about my top 18 vendor wax scents of 2018, let's get started. Okie dokie. The first honorable mention is Super Tarts P&W. The notes are raindrops, sweater weather, birch beechwood, and Washington apples. And this is one that really surprised me. When I smelled it on cold stuff, I was like, that's okay. But when I melted it, I kind of fell in love with it. It is very fresh, aquatic, but also very sweet from the apples. And it's just this really interesting and unique combination. I just really, really enjoyed it. As per usual with Super Tart scent, it is very strong. You know, 1 cube, had a medium high strength and throw. If you like fresh aquatic scents and you don't mind a little bit of apple, I think you'd really enjoy this one. The next honorable mention is Destination Wax's Frasier Fur. This is Siberian fir, cedarwood, sandalwood. This is Time's Frasier Fur type. So this is a luxury candle brand, quite expensive candles. So I'm super excited to have this and very, very authentic dupe of this scent. It is an amazing Christmas tree scent, but unlike a lot of your fresh balsams and your heavier pine scents, this one doesn't have that like astringency that just fresh balsam can have, and it is just such a classic scent in my opinion. It is one that I have burned in the candle many, many times. Like I said, it is quite pricey, so I'm really happy to have this in vendor wax form. I just fell in love with it. Amazing strength and throw, medium high for about a little less than half of the scent shot, and a 20 or 24 watt hot plate warmer. The next honorable mention is the Bathing Garden's Faerie Call. This one is such an amazing blackberry scent. I found myself really enjoying this scent. I already like blackberry, and then you throw throw in strawberry and cream, and it just blended together beautifully, and I really enjoyed it. Such fruity perfection. This one is also a strong one. 1 cube on 24 hot plate warmer, medium high throw. Very enjoyable. If you like your blackberry fruity scents, definitely give this one a try. The next honorable mention is Purple Fox's Hometown Bakery. This is cronuts slathered with vanilla cookie frosting sprinkled with crushed walnuts. A lot of vendors have amazing bakery scents, and I just feel like this one with that cronut note, it kind of has that yeasty like bread note to it mixed with the vanilla cookie, and that bit of nuttiness from the walnuts just sort of sets this one apart. And I feel like sometimes the bakery scents can be just a hint too sweet, and I feel like this one is that perfect balance just of bakery kind of dough and bread mixed with the amazing sweetness. Really enjoyed this one. Another one that's a medium high strength and throw. If you like your bakery scents, definitely try this one. The next honorable mention is Destination Wax Cranberry Pumpkin Compote. And this is actually just called Cranberry Pumpkin now. I had this obviously in 2017, but I didn't melt it until this fall, and it is amazing. If you're familiar with Bath & Body Works Cranberry Pumpkin or Homeworks Harvest Leaves, it is very much like those candles. It has a sweet and tart cranberry sort of berry note. The pumpkin isn't like a pumpkin spice, it's more of just like a creaminess that's added, and it has this really nice bakery scent, sort of like a cranberry bread or something like that. It's really awesome. This is definitely on my repurchase list to purchase for next fall, and looking forward to melting this one again. I love it. The next honorable mention, but essentially this is number 21, is Zeep's Toasted. This is fire toasted marshmallows, autumn leaves, and candied apples. First of all, how absolutely adorable is this melt? I love it. This is such an amazing fall scent. It's got a freshness from that leaves note, but also has this really amazing candied apple sweetness, but it doesn't dominate. The sweetness doesn't dominate. And it does have this toasty vibe as well. So it just kind of mixes a lot of my favorite parts of fall. The fresh scents, the sweeter kind of apple scents with a fireside kind of marshmallow, and it puts it all in one, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. This was quite strong, medium high for like a small chunk once you cut up the shape, and I really enjoyed it. The next honorable mention, and essentially number 20 on the list, is Barrett Waxcraft's Apple Butterscotch Cupcake. Yummy. I was a little concerned about the butterscotch because I thought it would be too sweet, but it's not. It is this just amazing cooked apple scent with this creamy butterscotch kind of caramelly note, and then you with the bakery. So it is just so good. Perfect for fall. I like a fruity bakery scent, and this one fits the bill. As with most of Barrett's scents, this is quite strong. 1 cube in my bowl warmer. It's like a medium high, and if I put it in a 20-watt hot plate warmer, it's even stronger. So highly recommend this scent if you like your apple bakery scents. It's fantastic. And the last honorable mention, number 19, is Super Tarts Mr. Meyers. This is Fresh Fallen Leaves, Fireside, and Vanilla Bean Noel. I'm sure most of you, if you've been into vendor wax for any length of time, are very familiar with this scent. And when I melted this in 2017, I was like, oh, it's okay. I melted it this year, and I just fell in love with it. I'm not one who can stand heavy fireside notes, but I do like it a little bit, especially in the months of October and even the beginning of November where it's really cold outside. And something about this with the freshness and then that fireside note, and especially when it's melting, it is just fantastic to me, and I just fell in love with it. I will definitely be repurchasing this whenever she brings it back onto the list, and I definitely can understand all the hype. As with most Super Tart scents, it is quite strong. 1 cube in my bowl warmer is medium high. 1 cube in my 20-watt hot plate warmer is even stronger, so love this one a lot. All right, number 18 is Destination Wax's Cinnamon Raisin Bread. This is warm raisin bread swirled with cinnamon right out of the oven, and I love that she's brought back these mini cakes. This scent is so yummy. For me, it legitimately smells like Pepperidge Farm cinnamon raisin bread. Just after you've toasted that bread and you put like some butter on it, you get the raisin in this, which I think really sets it apart from a lot of other like cinnamon bread kind of scents. And there's also this amazing buttery note as well that comes out, especially when it's warm, and I just fell in love with it as soon as I melted it. I also like that this cinnamon is not overpowering. It's definitely present, but it's definitely more of a warm bakery cinnamon and not super spicy. The strength and throw is between like a medium and a medium high. Really enjoyed this one a lot. If you love your bakery scents, definitely check this one out. Number 17 is the Bathing Gardens Vanilla Dumpling. Firstly, I mean, look how doggone cute this is. I love the way that her melts look. They're just absolutely adorable. adorable. This scent is fantastic. It is baked apple dumplings and rich vanilla fudge. I love an apple bakery scent first off, so there's that. But the dumpling aspect of this, I think, is really what sets it apart. It's like a very distinct and different bakery note that I've smelled. It does have a bit of cinnamon and clove, but you get this wonderful vanilla creaminess as well. And I legitimately feel like I could take a bite of this. The apple is present, but it's not dominant. It is definitely more of a vanilla, slightly spiced, maybe with just a few chunks of apple dumpling. It is so unique and it smells absolutely delicious. It's also quite strong, medium high for I think about half of this apple shape in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. And I am looking forward to her bringing this back. I would definitely be getting more of it. It is fantastic. Number 16 is Zeep's Hocus Pocus. This is charred pine, dried fall leaves, and toasted marshmallow. I love the melts and the shapes and the colors that she uses for this scent. They are just so cute. They make a great time lapse as well. This is like the perfect Halloween scent in my opinion. That charred pine mixed with the freshness of the leaves and that little bit of the sweetness from the marshmallow just all blend together perfectly. It just takes me to a very cold Halloween night or even just a regular fall night. It is just so cozy for that time of year. Absolutely love it. And again, this is one that the charred pine is definitely present, but it doesn't overly dominate to make it kind of too heavy for me, because you got that marshmallow and the fall leaves note that are just balancing out that charred pine perfectly. So love this one as well. Number 15 is Rosegirls Mango Monster Cookie Fluff Puffs. So this is two separate scents, as you can see, mango sorbet and monster cookie fluff puffs, but I actually had a chunk in the scent combined and it is fabulous. First of all, the mango and that tart, juicy, fruity scent mixed with the bakery marshmallowy goodness of monster cookie fluff puffs, it just works so well together, and I just fell in love with this combination. Individually, these scents are amazing also, but specifically what I'm highlighting here is this combination because it is just fantastic. I found myself just wanting to melt the one chunk cake that I had over and over again in late summer, and it was really kind of a great end of summer transitional scent into fall because you had that really amazing fruity mango, but then the bakery and the sweet vanilla notes of the monster cookie fluff puffs just kind of started making me think of fall bakery kind of scent. So really love this combination. So happy that we can get it in the mini melters and I can create my own. Number 14 is Empire Alchemy's Mermaid Tears. This is salty sea air, rosemary mint, twisted peppermint, toasted marshmallow, and vanilla bean noel. This scent is absolutely fantastic. For me, this scent is a scent that I can melt year round. The salty sea air and the rosemary mint lend itself to like summer, but then the twisted peppermint and the toasted marshmallow lend itself to fall and winter. So I've actually melted this in summer and winter, and this is actually the repurchase of this scent because I needed to have more. It is absolutely fantastic and it's a great and unique blend. Salty sea air can be a very dominant scent note, and this is very well balanced. Like you get it all, but it all just kind of comes together as this very cohesive blend. It is fresh, but slightly cooling and mentholated, and you also get this sort of sweetness that comes in on the back end of the scent. It is fantastic. Highly recommend it. It has a nice strength and throw between like a medium and a medium high in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. Fell in love with this one. Fantastic. Number 13 is Destination Wax's Pomelo and Wild Ginger. This is citrusy pomelo and fragrant wild ginger flowers. And let's just take a moment to admire this absolutely gorgeous flower cake. Again, another form that I'm glad that she's brought back in certain restocks and pre-orders, and really just thankful for that because they're gorgeous and I just love them. I love this scent so much. It is definitely a beautiful, pretty scent, but it's also so refreshing. That citrusy, sweetened kind of pomelo grapefruit and that like hint of floral ginger flowers. It just works beautifully. I could see wearing this scent as a perfume, but don't be turned off by that because some perfume scents can be like very powdery or musky, and this doesn't have any of those kind of undertones. It is just very fresh and pure, slightly floral scent with that punch of the citrusy pomelo. And when I melt it, I just love it. I walk into the room and I'm like, oh my gosh, this smells so good in here. It's just absolutely fantastic. If you don't like grapefruit at all, even if it's a sweetened grapefruit, you may not like this one because that note is quite dominant. This one is also quite strong, medium high strength and throw, and my 20-watt hot plate warmer is one that I just love to melt in the spring and the summer. I highly recommend this one. It's very conceptual. If you're looking for something outside of the norm, definitely give this one a try. Number 12 is Super Tarts Bella's Blood. It is pomegranate, mac apple, and sweet lolly, and this is one that has been around for a long time. Nothing new, but I just fell in love with it in early 2018, and I have gone through, I think, about 2 clams. It is a lot of the pomegranate and the sweet lolly, and they're just the perfect amount of mac apple. Mac apple can dominate a scent, but the mac apple doesn't dominate. It's definitely there, but it's not overly dominant. It's just a great balance, and for me, this is a year-round scent. I find myself melting this in spring, summer, and even into fall. Not really winter as much, but definitely spring, summer, and fall. It is super, super strong, like a 9.5 for 1 cube in a 20-watt or even a bulb warmer. It just fills my entire open concept area with 1 cube. It is just wonderfully fruity and sweet and juicy, and it is wonderful. Highly recommend it if you've never tried it. This is definitely one that I will always want to keep in stock and will try to pick up as she restocks it. Number 11 is Super Tarts Fake and Bake. Okay, I am officially on the bandwagon. So I've actually had this scent for a long time. I had picked up like 2 clams when she restocked it, probably in 2017. I smelled it on Cold Sniff. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it's a nice bakery scent. Finally melted it in 2018, and wow. Completely understand the hype on this scent. It is absolutely fantastic. It is a blend of zucchini bread, sugar cookie, and sweet cream. And I'm not normally a huge fan of zucchini bread scents, but I've definitely found, especially in this past year, that if it's mixed with something and maybe the zucchini bread isn't the dominant note, it can be fantastic. And this scent is just so absolutely delicious and yummy, and it's also super, super strong. 1 cube in my bulb warmer, again, like a 9.5, 10. It is crazy strong. It definitely makes you want to eat. When I melt it, I feel like, oh my gosh, I just want to go and eat something bakery, like a cake or a cupcake or something like that. It is just wonderful. Definitely get the hype of this one. If you like your bakery scents and you've yet to try this one, definitely give it a try. Number 10 is the Bathing Garden Summer Melon and Mint. This one is a bowl of melon, guava, mango, papaya, strawberry, with peppermint leaves. This is one that really surprised me because when I smelled it on Cold Sniff, I'm like, I like it, it's okay, but I wasn't in love with it. But when I melted it, wow. I'm not normally a huge fan of melon, like cantaloupe or honeydew melon. I'm not normally a fan of those notes, but those notes, while they are in this blend, they're not overly dominant. It really does end up coming across as this bowl of a fresh fruit salad. You get all the different fruits that are in the notes, and then you really get a nice amount of mint. And then it ends up, especially in the hot summer month, when I melted this, I think in like July or August, it ended up being so refreshing. That like cooling mint with all of those fruit notes just was perfection. Really, really love this one. Another one that had a great strength and throw, medium high for 1 cube in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. If you like your more tropical fruity scents, but maybe you're like me and aren't a huge fan of melon, don't let the name of this turn you off, because it is very, very well balanced, and I've found it super enjoyable. Number 9 is Vintage Chic Scents, the Spirit of Bob Hope. This is strawberry, rhubarb pie, and chantilly cream. And this is a little bit of a cheat, I guess, because last year in my 2017 video, I highlighted Bluebird Cafe in combination with the Spirit of Bob Hope as one of my top scents. But this scent on its own deserved to be in this video because I absolutely love it. And I do feel like it was a bit underhyped. I mean, Kirby, the owner of Vintage Chic Scents, has a lot of amazing strawberry scents. But for me, this one is just perfection. I think it's the rhubarb that gives it this really nice tartness, which I love. So it's sweet but slightly tart, and you also definitely get that creaminess from the chantilly cream. It's amazing by itself, but I of course also love mixing it with a lot of other strawberry scents. I found myself adding the Spirit of Bob Hope to like almost every strawberry scent that I melted, and it just elevated those other scents so much, and I just loved it. I would love to see rhubarb more in scents in general because I think it's very kind of underutilized. It's also quite strong, medium, high-ish in my 20-watt hot plate warmer for a small chunk, and I'm super happy to have a loaf in this. I'll be cutting this up when spring approaches. Number 8 is Destination Wax's Cape Cod Coast. This is Salty Air, Crashing Waves, Myrtle Leaves, Fresh Cedar Wood, and Marine Algae. This is Aqua de Sal type, which is a perfume / cologne scent, and this scent is amazing. It is so fresh and reminds me of the beach. You get this briny, salty air vibe, and it just makes you think of sand and seashells and like ocean water, and just standing there getting all of those amazing scents of the sea. It really just smells like the ocean as a conceptual scent, basically. It is absolutely fantastic. It is not harsh or heavy. It doesn't give me a headache like a lot of kind of fresh perfume cologne scents can do. You definitely get those ozone notes and just a little bit of something sweet. It is fantastic. Highly recommend it. It is super, super strong. For me, one mini cake in my 20-watt hot plate warmer is like a 9, 9.5. Now, I will say that when I first bought this scent back in 2016 or 17, whatever that was, it wasn't as strong when I first melted it, and then I let it cure, and then it was incredibly strong. And then this one, that's a fresh purchase that I just got in like December. It is a lot stronger on cold sniff than it was, you know, a couple of years ago. So it's a fantastic performer. I absolutely love it. Number 7 is Rosegirls Apple Fritter. I fell in love with this scent this past fall. This is actually my second bag. I went through one entire bag in late summer and into the fall, and I don't care if this is a single oil. It is fantastic. It is so incredibly yummy and edible, like an amazing apple bakery scent. You get that perfectly cooked apple, and you get that gooiness that happens if you've ever tried to bake apples and you've added a little bit of sugar to them. You get almost this natural kind of appley, caramelly, gooey amazingness, and then you definitely get that bakery, that fried bakery note in this, and it comes together so amazingly. Like when I smell this bag, I legitimately feel like I could bite a piece of the wax, because that's how authentically realistic it smells. It is amazing. It is also very strong. I do one mini melter in my Scentsy Accord warmer, and it is about between a medium and a medium high strength and throw. I just love it so much. If you like your apple bakery scents, I highly, highly recommend this one. It's fantastic. Number 6 is Barrett Wax Crafts Lavender and Toasted Marshmallow, and I did feature his Snoozy Melts on my last video in 2017, but I wanted to feature just his lavender. All of his lavender is amazing. His pure lavender, the lavender vanilla. He's got a lot of variations, but for me, the lavender and toasted marshmallow ends up being one of my favorites. His lavender is amazing. It is quite unique to any other vendors that I've smelled. It's like this perfect combination of fresh, pure, even slightly powdery, but also slightly sweet lavender. It's just perfection. I love it so much. If you're a lavender lover and you like your clean, fresh, pure lavenders, not like overly sweet, definitely try his lavender. It is so relaxing and just so beautiful. And then the toasted marshmallow in this, it just adds this another layer of perfection to this scent. I find myself always needing to have this in stock, and it's very, very strong. 1 cube in my bulb warmer is like an 8 strength and throw. It's fantastic. Highly, highly, highly recommend his lavender, especially this lavender and toasted marshmallow. I've just fallen in love with it this year, and I've probably gone through several clams. So love it so much. It's wonderful. Number 5 is the Bathing Gardens Root Beer Funnel Cake. This one is strong root beer, vanilla cream, powdered sugar, and funnel cake. And this is fantastic. One, you have to be a fan of root beer scents. If you're not a fan of root beer scents, you're probably not going to like this one. You definitely get the root beer, but you get this creamy edibleness to this root beer scent that is fantastic. I mean, it legitimately smells like a root beer funnel cake. I've never had one of those in real life, but this smells like what I would imagine it to be. But there's also this like very authentic root beer float vibe that comes from this, essentially because of the cream and the sweetness from like the sugar in this. It ends up smelling like a very realistic root beer float. You got your root beer, you got a big dollop of vanilla ice cream, and if you've ever had a root beer float, like it will kind of froth and foam a little bit, and it's just fantastic. Very unique to any of the other root beer scents that I've smelled from other vendors. Just those additional notes just really make this something really special. So highly, highly recommend this one. If you like your root beer scents, give this one a try. It's fabulous. It's also very strong, like a 9 for 1 cube in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. All right, we are down to the last 4, and number 4 is Destination Wax Black Currant and Fig. This is black currant, sweet figs, rich port wine, spicy black peppercorns, and a bright kick of citrus. I love this scent so much. It is tart, sweet, rich, warm, sophisticated. But when I say sophisticated, think of like a high-end candle. One of those candles that you would find like at a high-end boutique that are probably way overpriced. It's one of those scents that is very, very complex. You get all these different notes and it just comes together so beautifully, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's also quite strong, medium high in my 24-watt hot plate warmer. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you like scents like her Jo Malone dupes and like vanilla anise, and not that this smells like those scents, but think of sort of that conceptual fruity kind of vibe. It is amazing. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Give it a try if you haven't already. Number 3 is Empire Alchemy's Truly, Truly, Truly Outrageous. This is orange sorbet, lemon sugar, lemon rind, and sugar cookie dough. I ordered this scent in my very first order with this vendor, and I fell in love with the scent immediately on cold sniff, and then when I melted it, I fell in love with it even more, and I am so glad I was able to get more at the end of the summer. Imagine the best lemon bakery scent that you've had. So you have this sweet lemon bakery, but then you also get a tartness from the lemon. To me, that's the most perfect lemon bakery, when I get a sweet lemon and a tartness. And then if you add in orange sherbet, I mean, stunning. Just absolutely stunning. It is so delicious, citrusy, bakery amazingness. I cannot say enough good things about this scent. It is so delicious, yummy, edible. Like, this is another one that I smell it and I feel like I could just take a bite of the wax. It was also quite strong, a medium high strength and throw for like a shape about this size in my 20-watt hot plate warmer. If you like your lemon bakery, your citrus bakery, and you're looking for something just a little bit different, definitely give this one a try. It is absolutely phenomenal. Number 2 is Vintage Chic Scents Picture Window Tree. This is warm mittens, melting snow, crisp mistletoe, and musky woods, and I fell in love with this scent as well. It is such an amazing, fresh but cozy scent. I had a 4-pack from 2017 which I melted this fall, and then I was able to snag like multiple additional 4-packs and then melted like another 4-pack this year as well, because it's just absolutely fantastic. Normally when you have something that's fresh, it's not necessarily a cozy scent, but this one is both. It definitely lends itself for me to fall and winter, but I could actually see probably melting this into spring as well. It definitely has a little bit of maybe some kind of laundry vibe, like you're wearing this cozy sweater or warm mittens as it were. It's just a feeling. It's the feeling that this scent evokes. I think that it's why I love it. I just walk into the room and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is so cozy and fresh, and it does kind of invigorate you even in the cold weather. So it's just like this perfect contrast of these feelings that I just absolutely love, and it's fantastic and it's strong. I do a half a coin in a 20-watt hot plate warmer, and then the other half a coin in a 24-watt hot plate warmer, and that one coin basically fills my room like a 9 strength and throw. It is absolutely phenomenal. If you like your fresh scents and you're looking for something a bit cozier for winter and fall, I definitely recommend this one. Again, it's another one that I just can't say enough good things about, and I feel like I wish I could describe this one a bit better. If you're looking for a fresh, cozy scent, this is it. Dun, 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 dun. Number 1 is Destination Wax Juniper Walk. This is evergreen, juniper, and fresh, sweet mountain air, and I fell in love with this scent. So a little bit of a story. Rebecca, who is the owner of Destination Wax, actually sent me a sample of this scent like really early on into like one of my very first orders back in early 2017, and I smelled it and I was like, it smells like Christmas is kind of what I thought at the time, and I didn't melt it right away. And then in another order, she sent me another sample and said, I think you'd really like this one, you should try it. And still, with my stubbornness, I thought, well, it's okay, like, and finally I tried it, and let me just say that when Rebecca recommends a scent to me, I'm always going to try it from now on, because I fell in love with the scent so much. I think actually in 2018 I went through at least 2 or 3 4-packs of this scent, and it's just phenomenal. For me, this is a fall and winter scent, and even into early spring, and it doesn't just smell like a Christmas tree. It does have that vibe, that evergreen, you know, Christmas Christmas tree kind of vibe, but then it also has this incredible freshness to it as well. And it is also quite cozy for some reason for me as well. It's sort of in the same family as Sweater Weather, not the same scent at all, but I would say that they're related, you know, kind of maybe distant cousins or something like that. It's that kind of vibe that this reminds me of. And it does just make you think of kind of walking through a forest that has a lot of evergreens and firs, and it's kind of a cooler day, and you're walking around and you kind of got that crisp, sweet mountain air around you, and it's kind of got, you know, it's brisky outside, you're bundled up a little bit, and that's what it makes me think of. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is a great performer as well, medium, high strength, and throw. I just cannot recommend this scent enough. If you like fresh fall, winter, Christmas tree kind of scents, give this one a try, but don't think that it's just a Christmas tree scent, because it's so much more than that. Especially when you melt it, it just comes alive, as I like to say. I hope that this scent never gets discontinued, because I love it and I would be absolutely gutted if I never could get it again. At this point, I might as well just buy this in a bakery bag because I love it so much, and I think the next pre-order I will. Highly, highly recommend this one as well. Okie dokie, y'all, that is it. That is my top 18 and really 25 scents of 2018. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite or top favorite scents were for 2018. It doesn't have to be a new scent. It could just be, what is a scent that just stands out in your mind as your favorite scent from last year? I always love to hear from you. If you like this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see other videos like this, please subscribe. I always have my vendor wax empties every single month, and I would like to start doing some more vendor wax videos, like my top 10s for the vendors. So let me know, if you haven't already, which of those types of videos you would be most interested in. Is there a particular vendor that you would like to see my top 10 of? Let me know the vendor, and if that's something that you'd be interested in, I really would love to hear your feedback. Thank you as always for all of your support, for watching my videos, for all of your likes and comments, and for those of you who don't like and comment but still watch, thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.